Ben Wheelock is an associate professor in the Department of Native American Studies at Northeastern University. He leads a group of students on an archeological expedition in the forest, and he and his research partner are almost at their destination. Ben warns the rest of the group to meet them at the top of the hill. Arriving there, Ben and his team use some dynamite to open an entrance into the cave. Inside the cave, they find some ancient drawings on the walls depicting strange symbols and figures of a beast attacking people. The girl in the group begins to tell a local legend about a beast killing people on the surface, explaining how a man and his daughter entered that cave and mysteriously disappeared. And Ben says that the more these stories are passed down generation after generation, the more terrifying they become. The whole group listens in silence, feeling the weight of the story, and Ben asks the group to stay behind them without touching anything, while he and his team advance deeper, taking some photos of human bone remains and other enigmatic symbols. Suddenly, a fierce growl echoes from the back of the cave, and Ben and his team look at each other, frightened, not knowing what they face. As the noise gets deafening, they decide to run, but it's too late. The creature emerges behind them, chasing and killing everyone with no chance to escape. 2 months later, we meet Ranger Danny Clare, who is lamenting that she caused the death of her best friend Elaine. We see that Danny still blames herself heavily for that whole tragedy. She is on the floor of the watch cabin, drinking and having memories of the last conversation she had with her friend. She talks to her only friend, a parrot named Roper, and the parrot tells her not to blame herself and that Elaine still loves her. But Danny says that wherever she is, her friend must hate her. Claire receives a call from her boss, Rick. He warns that there is a large fire in the forest, and his staff has been called to help, and informs her that in these days she will work alone. Rick also warns about another problem Claire will have to solve on her own. The Devil's Dam has some cracks, and she will have to release 1 million liters of water per day to control the pressure. Rick asks her to try to find the campers who disappeared at the site. Rick also says that her ex-boyfriend Justin has been calling frequently to check on her, but Claire doesn't pay much attention and just hangs up. Claire lies down on the bed to relax, but has memories of the day she lost her friend in an accident. In the dream, she tries to rescue Elaine's lifeless body and cries without being able to do anything. She soon wakes up in the middle of the night from the nightmare. Roper is frightened by some noises outside, and Claire calms her friend and decides to go out to investigate. As she walks to the cabin, we see that the beast watches her, and at the cabin door, Claire finds claw marks. Soon a noise catches her attention. Claire tries to open the cabin, but it's locked with a padlock. She soon gives up and decides to return home, but sees some bushes moving and deduces it's just a bear. Now we meet her ex named Justin, who comes to visit Claire to see if she's okay. Upon arrival, Justin notices the marks on the cabin. Claire goes outside and asks why he didn't go help put out the fire. Justin says he was assigned to take care of the base camp and went out to buy milk and decided to stop by to see how she is. Justin jokes, asking if it was Officer Rick who scratched the cabin door, and Claire says it could have been a bear. But Justin says that at this time of year, it's not normal, since they're hibernating. Claire jokes and says maybe he still hasn't rented his cave. Soon the atmosphere gets a bit awkward, and Claire comments that he didn't need to come see her because the road is very bad, and she and Rick took an hour to get there. Justin says Rick makes many stops, hence the delay, and adds that he's worried about her because she doesn't answer his calls. Justin notices she has started drinking again, so he invites her for a picnic. Claire says she'll be very busy these days. Justin says he understands, but when Claire's life gets messy, his does too. Then she mentions her dream and the knocks she has been hearing, which each day seem more real. Justin offers to go with her to the dam. While they walk, Justin tries to make small talk with his ex, but she is distant, and the beast already watches the two. They soon arrive at the dam, and Claire asks if Justin has ever had any kind of premonition. He jokes that only when they met, and Claire explains that since the Jeep rolled over, she has had visions of something evil approaching her. Justin asks her not to blame herself because Elaine was the one driving. Claire accepts that Justin stay the night with her, but the woman is not in the mood, and Justin says he wants to return to her life again and that she can share her problems with him. Claire reveals the truth. She was the one driving. She says she was going too fast and ended up hitting a pothole, causing the accident. Elaine flew through the windshield, and Claire only held her hand while the police didn't arrive. When they arrived, they concluded that the fault was Elaine's because the car was hers, and Claire didn't reveal the truth. That's why she blames herself so much. Justin says she was already dead and asks if she would feel better for involuntary manslaughter. He asks if she wants to go to the police station to clear things up, but she says she also doesn't want to be jailed. Claire and Justin spend the night together, and later we see the creature approaching the house. Roper begins to be on alert again. Quickly, the couple wake up to a lot of noise on the roof. They go out, and Justin decides to check. He asks Claire to call the base camp and ask for help, because that doesn't seem like a bear. Justin climbs onto the tower roof, but while searching he sees nothing, until his jeep is thrown down the ravine. Claire tries to contact the base camp, without success, and soon Justin returns, showing that the creature tore off the communication antenna. Roper remains terrified, asking to leave. Claire asks what it was, and Justin says he didn't see clearly, but it was large, a shadow of 2 meters. She asks what they will do, and Justin suggests they take turns at the door. To calm down, they decide to drink a little. During the morning, the couple decide to leave the tower and go to the jeep. They find the radio broken, and Justin says they can use the dam's radio. Claire worries because the creature might be there, but Justin says he will protect her. In the forest, an elderly couple is lost. While Justin and Claire are heading to the dam, they hear noises, and Justin is about to shoot when the woman's husband appears and says it's only his wife. Claire asks if they are the campers who went missing. The man answers yes, and asks if they can help them get out of there. Claire wants to escort the couple, but the man says he doesn't want the humiliation of appearing in the news being rescued by a ranger. Justin says there's something in the forest, but the man doesn't want to know, and says he only needs to know where the exit is. Claire points out where it is. Justin insists everyone stay together, because what's out there is very dangerous, but the man says he won't stay unless Justin uses his gun to stop him, and Claire convinces Justin to let them go. Claire and Justin reach the dam and, upon entering the room, are surprised by an agitated cat. It seems to have seen something. Frightened, they realize the creature also passed through and destroyed the communication radio. Back with the other couple, the woman asks if the man really knows where he's going. He asks her to rest while he tries to spot the road. We see the creature run toward them. The woman, hearing the noises, calls for her husband, who is a little distant. Soon the beast appears behind the woman and attacks her fiercely. The man, hearing his wife's screams, runs to try to help her, but is suddenly surprised by the creature instead, and the man begins to run through the forest until he is brutally killed. Justin and Claire then return to the watchtower and, upon arrival, discover that the creature also tore the jeep's engine out. Claire is already terrified, as everything is only getting worse. Upon opening the tower door, they face something terrifying. The woman's body is tied to the ceiling. Claire quickly becomes sick at the whole scene, but there's no time to breathe, as another corpse falls from the ceiling onto Justin, and Claire becomes even more terrified, saying they have to call the police. Justin says it's impossible because they have no means of communication, and asks if she remembers the tragedy that happened to the students massacred months ago. He comments that it may be the same killer, but Claire recalls that the police investigated the site, did not find the culprit, and concluded he fled. Justin suggests that maybe he returned. They decide to bury the victims' bodies. Now the couple plans how to get out of there. Justin says it's faster and he can ask for help, asking Claire to stay in the tower with the gun. He explains that if the killer is only one, he will go after him, buying time for Claire to escape, but she disagrees with the plan. Justin convinces her, saying that if the bastard appears on the stairs, she should shoot, and soon he will return with help. She agrees, and Justin leaves to seek help, leaving Claire alone with binoculars watching for the killer. During the night, Claire decides she won't drink anymore and prepares to face the beast outside, but has trouble fighting sleep and ends up dozing off. Meanwhile, Justin walks through the forest, but soon comes face to face with the creature and is quickly killed, while Claire still sleeps unaware of the attack. She wakes up to noises outside, stays on alert with the gun, but again gives in to tiredness and sleeps. The next day, she wakes thinking things will be better. Claire decides to leave the tower and go to the cabin, finding it without the padlock, and wonders what the creature was looking for. Upon inspecting the place, she notices blood dripping from the ceiling and, behind some jerry cans, when she removes one, she finds Justin's head. The woman screams while the creature watches her. Claire asks the monster to stop that, and this time buries her beloved's body. She begins to remember moments with him and decides she no longer wants to run, but rather seek vengeance. So Claire pours several foods into cans, using them as strategic traps and bells to warn when the creature approaches, asking her friend Roper to alert her, since the parrot can sense the monster's presence. Then Claire prepares inside the tower and turns off the lights while waiting for the beast, which soon begins to approach the tower. Roper soon warns that someone is coming, and Claire asks from which side, but the parrot replies it just wants to flee. Claire opens the door to check and sees a shadow passing by running. Soon black hands appear that begin to pull the tower beams, which start to tremble. The tower begins to tilt to the side, but soon the creature releases, and Claire looks outside trying to find it, realizing it just passed through one of her traps. Claire begins to shoot as the beast passes all the traps she left. She keeps shooting, but without success. Claire asks Roper where it is, but the parrot warns that the creature is gone. During the day, now with an overcast sky, Claire decides to descend from the tower and finds the beams nearly broken. She heads to her traps and finds a green goo, deducing it may be the creature's blood. Maybe she managed to hit it. Claire asks Roper to leave and save himself while she sets out in search of the creature, now prepared for the counterattack. Claire quickly follows the green slime through the forest, finds some crime scene tapes, but continues walking until she reaches the same cave from the beginning. She decides to enter the cave and finds even more green liquid, following the tracks until she finds the same paintings Ben had discovered, becoming puzzled. With little time, Claire continues after the creature, until a man appears, almost killing her with a scare, and says it's not safe to stay there. Claire asks who he is, but he only says he's been watching the creature for months and asks her to follow him because it's not safe there. Claire follows him to his trailer, which is totally destroyed, and he explains that he was afraid to return there, but thanks to her, he was able to recover some things. The man says he's camped near the sacred cemetery at the waterfalls, which strikes Claire as strange, since he walks there with the creature loose. He introduces himself as Jose Riverwind and says he heads the Department of Native American Studies. He then says that, months ago, 5 of his best students came to study some ancient myths, including his partner Ben, but all returned in pieces. Claire asks why he is doing that, but he says he needs to know what kind of person she is before telling anything, irritating Claire, who says she has no time for games and tries to leave. He begins to follow her and explains he knows what the creature wants and knows its weaknesses. He reveals that the demon chasing her is attracted to negative energies and that Claire is in transition, being a threat just for being there. Claire asks what the creature's weaknesses are, and Jose explains that the monster is playful but remains a killer who escaped from the underworld. He says it was summoned to the surface by sorcerers who wanted to control its supernatural power, but couldn't, and that the elders took almost 500 years to imprison it again in the cave. Jose says that before being imprisoned, the monster roamed free for 1,000 years, important years for it, and that by translating the symbols on the cave walls, they managed to understand its personality. Claire, irritated, complains that he still hasn't told anything useful. Then Jose reveals it's the spirit of a mythological beast, although Claire seems not to believe. But Claire decides to give Jose a chance and asks how the creature escaped from the underworld. He explains that his students ended up breaking the seal that kept it on the hill. Claire still can't believe Jose, but he remarks that even after everything she went through, she still doesn't believe in the supernatural. With few options, Claire asks how she can kill it, and Jose says it's not possible because it regenerates, but it can be wounded. He informs he will go to the guard tower tomorrow, and that for now it's better they separate. Claire comments she has heard that before. Jose adds that, from the ancient symbols, the monster acts like a cat playing with an injured mouse, without killing it, taking pleasure in torturing its victims. He also reveals that the creature fears water, hence camps near the waterfall, and that it's a female, information that can be used to their advantage. Claire says goodbye to Jose and returns to the tower, where she discovers the creature unearthed the bodies and placed them all on the dining table, forcing Claire to bury them again. She notices a storm is coming and remembers Jose's words about the monster's fear of water, deciding to try to flee at that moment. She begins walking in the rain, almost struck by lightning, but keeps going until the rain starts to stop. The creature exits the cave and chases Claire, who hears the noise approaching. She tries to run but trips and falls. Still on the ground, she sees movements in the underbrush and, without thinking, starts running again, initiating a fierce chase. Claire manages to reach the guard tower, but the creature arrives with her, The beast stands face to face with Claire, begins to sniff her and play with her, just as Jose had explained. Claire begs for her life until the creature opens its wings and flies, giving Claire time to enter the tower. She closes the entrance with a piece of furniture and begins firing at the ceiling, trying to kill the creature, and for a moment the noises stop. Claire sits on the floor, sees a cell phone on a chair, manages to pick it up and calls Rick. Rick asks about the dam, and she explains that something is trying to kill her. He is bewildered, but Claire insists, asking for help and saying that everyone, including Justin, is dead. Rick thinks she is drunk and asks her to calm down. Terrified, Claire insists the police need to be called, but Rick says he can't take the road at night and will only go in the morning. Claire states the case is urgent, and Rick says he will come to her. They hang up, and Claire takes the opportunity to tend to the wound while we see Rick driving to meet her. When he arrives, he honks, irritating Claire that he came alone, and he comments she is just hungover. Claire doesn't try to explain, she just wants to leave the place, but Rick insists on checking the dam first. Claire disagrees, but has no options. Before leaving, she goes to the cabin to get some things, and soon they head to the dam. On the way, they find Jose, and Claire asks to stop, recognizing the man. As they approach, they discover he is already dead. With no time to think, the creature appears and kills Rick. Claire takes her colleague's jeep and tries to flee, but the creature appears in front of her, and she is run over. Claire runs over the creature several times, gets out of the car hoping it's dead, but doesn't find it, and decides to return. She tries to start the car, which doesn't start until she gets it running. She accelerates quickly while being chased, but is stopped by a log on the road. The creature lands on the jeep and tries to grab her. At the crucial moment, Claire manages to grab her gun, fires and pushes the creature away. She starts the car and resumes the escape, continuing to flee the threat. The creature again jumps onto the hood of the car, breaking the glass and trying to grab Claire, who, unable to see, ends up crashing into the cave from which the creature came, throwing the beast away. Claire stands in the car for a moment until the creature returns, and she cannot get out because the door is stuck on a branch. She grabs some dynamite she had stored and lights them, then exits behind the car. The creature tries to flee, but the dynamite explodes. Claire returns to check if the creature died and finds the cave entrance sealed again, thus getting her revenge. Doing her last duty as a ranger, she releases water from the dam that was cracking and decides to leave her post. The next day she goes to the police and reports the deaths on the mountain, in addition to recounting the accident that killed her friend, but the lieutenant dismisses the matter. Claire returns to her home in town, reads a book in bed, and suddenly hears the sound of wings, almost dying of fright when Roper enters through the window, thus ending the film.